Ready for a business journey? Let's go. Did you know that shea butter production employs over 900,000 women across the country? But the livelihood of these women are being threatened because of the felling of shea trees. But fortunately, a group has come to their rescue to solve this problem by securing a whopping $9 million. Good news.
The shea industry contributes significantly to the socio-economic needs of rural women. In northern Ghana, it provides direct employment to about 900,000 women along the value chain. The women are often engaged in shea picking, processing and marketing. Sadly, the source of income for the women is under threat due to cutting and destruction of the shea trees by bushfires. Currently, demand for shea butter is on the rise, but the population of shea trees is steadily declining. Afishatu Yakubu is a shea nut picker and processor. She has been in the industry for nearly 3 decades. She tells Citi Business News there has been a drop in shea nut yields as compared to some 20 years ago.
So that time when I go to the push, for the season to end, I can pick about 15 to 20 bags. But now, if I say I have picked shea nuts, it's getting about 5 to 10 because we are now many. And the price those days was 30 cedis per bag, but now a bag is 1.5, getting to 2 million.
The situation, according to actors in the shea industry, is worrying, hence the need to develop strategies to protect shea trees. As a result, the Global Shea Alliance launched the Action for Shea Parkland, an initiative aimed at growing 10 million shea trees while protecting 200 million others from destruction. As part of its mandate to facilitate the implementation of the project, the Global Shea Alliance is engaging with stakeholders to deliberate on how to effectively protect the trees under the project. Aaron Edu is the managing director for Global Shea Alliance.
As I mentioned, we are creating what we call the Parkland Restoration Fund, where it will be a pool of money that people can access to be able to do these activities on the ground. The first one we have had is funding from the Green Climate Fund in partnership with UNDP and the Forestry Commission. The GNC has a component of $9 million that will be given out in grants, to research institutions, women cooperatives, private sector, civil society organizations to undertake those activities. So this forum allows everybody, when it starts, when that implementation starts, people who are doing it would come. And then starting next year, the grant has just been approved. We are in the preparation stage with UNDP and Forestry Commission. As soon as the ground implementation starts, every year when we meet like this, people who assess the grant and begin to do projects, they'll present on what they have done, and everybody can go and see whether they are actually helping us to achieve the objectives or not.
The shea tree is mostly grown in the wild, and it takes 15 years and beyond to grow a shea tree. This means that it will take a very long time to replace a shea tree which has been destroyed. The situation is not all gloomy, as research scientists have been able to reduce the gestation period to 3 years and beyond using different approaches.
All right. Chief, please give me 1 kilo and boneless.
1 kilo, 1 kilo. We sell 1 pound.
Yeah.
1 pound is close.
Go ahead. Give it to me. The way people will enjoy this Christmas, and you know, this year has been a very eventful one with Corona and all of that. People are really going to have fun. But whilst you are enjoying yourself, these meat sellers, they'll be making a lot of money. Not only will they be making money from all the events that will be happening, you know, we're an election year too. So they'll be supplying meat and fish and all of that too. the winners of the election. And well, for those who will lose to, at least they will get some aponchin kaka and some chill drink and console themselves with. But you know, let's find out how these meat guys will be making money from us this Christmas season.
As the Christmas season draws closer, one of the sectors that will be cashing in on Ghana's love for protein is the meat and poultry sector. Unlike previous years, the weeks leading up to the holidays this year have been relatively quiet because of the coronavirus pandemic. Despite this, players in the meat and poultry industry are optimistic that they will record large volumes of sales and are preparing accordingly. La Solo is a premium steakhouse and seafood grill restaurant in East Legon. They say that contrary to the fears that sales may be low this year because of the pandemic, this season will be their greatest.
Very, very optimistic, very, very in such a way that even during the COVID season, we're doing our takeouts. We're doing takeouts during the COVID season. And I mean, the year has been good. And festive season coming promises to be a very good one. As they always say, coming events cast their shadows. So we are very positive about it. Despite the elections coming up, we are very positive that after whoever is declared the winner of the elections, celebrations will go on. And we are very ready and very much anticipating that we're definitely going to have people coming and we are going to make people really enjoy the full benefits of the season when it comes to, having proteins and stuff to fill your belly and make you happy.
Ebibin Shroma Farms houses over 1,000 chickens. Its founder, Christabel, says the COVID-19 pandemic has brought a refreshing demand for local poultry.
We anticipate that the sales are going to go higher because, one, during the entire year, due to the COVID season, we've had our sales go up. And with a few of the information we put on our various social media platforms, we've realized that a lot of people are now have taste for birds which are raised locally. And what we do is that we add value to the birds. And so you can buy from us live, which most of the market women do. They buy the birds from us and then they take it to the various markets to sell. We also dress some of the birds. And this time we are even adding a new innovation where the chicken is already cut. And so it makes cooking easy.
Lojano makes shopping seafood this festive season pleasant by enabling Ghanaians to shop fresh seafood from the comfort of their homes. Alex, the CEO of Lojano, elaborates the range of seafoods Ghanaians can get delivered at home this Christmas.
We are supplying currently everything fish and seafood. We have the live one that are mainly catfish, live catfish. We have the fresh fish and seafood. So fresh tilapia, fresh salmon, fresh grouper, fresh shrimps, prawns, squid, octopus. We also have the smoked one. So smoked catfish, dry salted tilapia, kobe. We have smoked freshwater fish too. So everything fish and seafood, coming from sea, coming from freshwater, coming from aquaculture. People having support products together like a combo where they can choose different packages at a very fair price. We also have the cashback promo that we will be running till December. We have the Boxing Day. We have other promo and sales activities that we are planning to have.
Lasulo wants its clients to enjoy their steaks without compromising on convenience this festive season, and as such, has instituted a wide range of options for customers to enjoy their steak.
So we have walk-ins, okay, and it is not just walk-in. The walk-ins we have is by booking. You call us, you book at least 24-hour notice, and then you come in. We have options where you can also call in and have a takeout, place an order, and it will be delivered to you anywhere you are. Basically, for right now, we're running Accra, Tema options. We don't do deliveries far away from these particular locations. And when you come in, you have the options you have the chance to select whatever you want to have. Even though we have a set menu, which is set down for you, you can choose by your preference. You can choose to tell us you want probably more of the chicken or more of the pork or more of the oxtails or more of the turkeys and all that we have. So there are varieties of options. And when you call us, you to place your order. We walk you through the options we have, and you select your preference, and then based on that, we are able to meet your demands for you.
Remember when the coronavirus first hit the country, there was this scare about bushmeat spreading the virus. I hope you've gotten over that fear. But now there's this new one we are hearing also about, a virus that affects chickens from Western countries. But you don't have to be afraid, because the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has addressed that problem by banning the importation of chicken from those countries. So, well, feel free and enjoy your chicken. As for me, I'm sorted, crap.
Some products that have been affected by the ban include day-old chicks, hatching eggs, frozen chicken, poultry products, and poultry feed. This was contained in a statement signed by Robert Ankobia, Acting Chief Director of the Ministry, on behalf of the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Efriye Akoto. Part of the statements read, following a confirmed outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza subtype H5N8 in Netherlands, Germany, Russia, Denmark, and United Kingdom, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, upon advice from the Veterinary Services Directorate, has placed a ban on the importation of day-old chicks, hatching eggs, frozen chicken, poultry products, and poultry feed from these European countries with immediate effect. Roberts and Ankobia in the statements also announced that all import permits that were issued earlier for such consignments have been rendered invalid due to the new directive. Speaking to Citi Business News, Michael Nyako Ampim, president of the Poultry Farmers Association, said the announcements will create a deficit in the markets that members of his outfits would greatly fill in the next couple of weeks.
So we received the statement from government indicating that there's a ban on poultry from Europe, and as an association of poultry farmers, we are happy and not so happy. Happy in the sense that it gives us the opportunity to be able to come into the field and fill the gap that has been there, because currently we do about 90 for import and 10 for the locally grown chicken. So it's an opportunity for us to be able to fill the gap, and we'll rise to the occasion. The other side of it is that the day-old chicks and then the hatching eggs that come in. That is where we may have a challenge, but at least we know that if that is something that is going to last a bit longer, we'll be able to rely on ourselves and grow this hatching eggs and then the day-old chicks for the layers. As for broilers, we don't have a broiler day-old chicks. We don't have a problem because we already buy them locally here. It is the layer day-old chicks that people are a bit skeptical, and so get them from outside the country. So we are saying that as an industry, we are saying that we urge the government to be strong in this stance, and we would also be able to rise up to the occasion, ensure that the birds are in the market.
Do you remember those times when the lights used to go off so often? It was such an unpleasant... Oh, visible! They've off the light again. You know, it was such an unpleasant experience, eh? Those times of looking for a place to iron or a place to even charge your phone, and coming back home and sleeping without a fan in such a hot weather. It was so unpleasant. But it looks like we might be going back to those times, oh, because the independent power producers say they will stop supplying CG power because we owe them so much. As for me, I don't want to celebrate this Christmas in darkness. Oh.
The Chamber of Independent Power Producers, Distributors and Bulk Consumers has served notice of its intent to withdraw its services to the Ghana Grid Company. According to a statement signed by its CEO, Elikplim Apetobo, the failure of government to settle at least 80% of its due debt, worth over $1 billion, is the basis for their action. Ghanaians will be deprived of electricity should the threat be carried through. The statement added that the independent power producers will communicate appropriately to Gridco Systems Control Center. Though government has settled some of the debts to the IPPs, it still owes the power producers some substantial amount of money. The debt stood at about $1.4 billion in June 2020, but government has settled part of it. It will be recalled that government settled the prolonged interutility legacy debt, worth $203 million, about a month ago. The components of the power sector debt within the energy sector, which was accrued by the end of 2016, involved both state-owned corporations and independent power producer Sunan Asogli Power Ghana Limited.
Isn't it interesting that with all the sunlight we have all year round across the country, we are not able to convert it into energy to power and light bulbs? Well, let's cut our politicians some slack. At least it's one area that the NDC and the MPP seem to agree that we have to fix as a country. Well, let's find out what they both have for that sector. Explaining the genesis of the bill to the House, the Minister of Energy stated that the government of Ghana in 2007 established the Bui Power Authority through the enactment of the Bui Power Authority Act 2007, Act 740. Its mandate was to develop a hydroelectric power project on the Black Volta at Bui and any potential hydroelectric power site on the Black Volta River. The minister further stated that the authority demonstrated enough institutional capacity in the area of renewable energy and successfully extended hydropower initiatives. However, its continuous investment and development of renewable energy has been questioned by auditors on several occasions as unlawful regarding the huge expenditure in an area which falls outside the scope of its mandate. The bill was subsequently passed last week and will become law upon the assent of the President. Speaking to Citi Business News, the Chief Executive Officer of the Bui Power Authority, Mr. Fred Owari, indicated that the move would help remove a major barrier to its outfit's renewable energy goals.
Since 2008, we've been engaging the ministry and some of the stakeholders within the energy market to have our act amended to give us the legal backing for all the things that we've been doing. Today, we probably will be the biggest in the country in terms of development of solar energy. We certainly will be the first to put solar energy onto the national grid. We're also working seriously before the end of the year to have solar panels on the lake and generate some significant amount of electricity power from the lake on solar. And so what this thing will do, first of all, is to cure the kind of position that we found ourselves without amending the act and having to do other things that we're doing. Number two, it would also now establish us as the forerunner in the establishment of projects in the renewable sector, whether it's wind, solar, or mini hydros or whatever, which we have already developed the capacity for. We've executed some projects successfully. And with this passage of the bill into an act, we feel confident in stepping out, chest out, to do all that we've been doing.
The Institute for Energy Security had earlier demanded a lot more commitment from the governing New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress in the renewable energy sector. Both parties had made provision for renewable energy in their respective manifestos, but the energy think tank believes such promises are not enough. The National Democratic Congress proposed to establish a Renewable Energy Commission to focus on advocacy for renewables, howbeit without any timelines. On the other hand, the New Patriotic Party seeks to increase portions of renewable energy in the national generation mix, but without any indication of how it plans to implement it. However, as part of government's commitment to renewable energy, Parliament last week passed the Bui Power Authority Amendment Bill 2020. The bill seeks to empower the Bui Power Authority to develop renewable energy and other clean energy alternatives in the country. But speaking at the Energy Manifesto Dialogue organized by the Institute for Energy Security, former Deputy Energy Minister John Jinapor said the NDC's plan of establishing a renewable energy authority, if voted into power come December 7, will contribute immensely in the country, making significant strides in renewable energy.
On assumption of office, the first thing we'll do is to reform that sector. What we intend to do is to bring all our thermal plants and have what we call a Ghana Thermal Company. So their focus will be on thermal energy. We also intend to have what we call a Volta Lake or Volta River Authority, bring Bui Dam, bring Akosomo, and all the hydro into one company so that they focus on the hydro sector. But more importantly, we would have what we call the Renewable Energy Authority. Today, the world is moving into renewables, and for the first time since renewables started in the year 2019, renewable energy seemed to have increased compared to thermal energy. And all companies, if you read the BP report, read the IEA report, read the US Energy Information Report and all that, all these companies are saying that they are moving into the era of renewables. So Ghana cannot be left behind. And so we want to have a renewable authority that will focus specifically on increasing renewables. And we would invest massively, and I mean massively, in the renewable subsector.
Telling Ghana's business stories, Citi TV brings you a dedicated business news bulletin that showcases the business temperature of the country in one go. The business dashboard, the markets, industry, and policies that affect the way we do business. All covered in one bulletin. The business dashboard, 7 p.m. every weeknight on Citi TV.
Election 2020, Ghana makes a choice. Tracking and bringing reports of the presidential and parliamentary campaigns across the length and breadth of this nation.
Analyzing campaign activities and election data with our panelists on the Voters' Diary.
The Voters' Diary is the most factual, instructive, and balanced election 2020 analysis program on television.
The Voters' Diary every weekday on Citi TV from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Stay informed on all the relevant issues on election 2020.
Tune into the Voters' Diary. It's Ghana's choice.
All right, a quick one. Have you ever worn a smock before? They can be so comfortable and graceful, but have you ever wondered how they are made and possibly what the challenges involved in the sector? Let's find out.
A smock is a traditional cloth worn by all major ethnic groups in the northern part of Ghana. There are unique designs for each ethnic group which identifies them. The smock has gained popularity in Ghana and beyond, making it a major source of livelihood for producers. Daboya, the capital of the North Gonja district of the Savannah region, is the largest and best producer of smock in Gonjaland. It is known for the quality production of what is called the Gonja smock. A visit to the area reveals hundreds of people, including children, engaged in the value chain of producing smock, from dyeing, weaving, sewing, and retailing. But players in the industry in Daboya say some obstacles are increasingly making it difficult for them to upscale. Muhammad Ahmed is a dyer. He tells me the market is slow.
2016, 2015 thereabout, we used to sell Euchuma 200 Ghana cedis. But now they somehow 15 or 14 thereabout.
A day.
A day?
Yeah. Is it 200 Ghana a day or month?
No, a day.
Ibrahim Abdurrahim, who has been sewing since age 12, now runs his own shop and sells his smokes in Bole and Techiman. Mr. Rahim tells me the industry here can go international with needed investment.
It's only we, those who are doing it in the small-scale business, we are only trying to get something in our pocket. There's no help coming from anywhere. That is the another challenge that we are having. So we are pleading to our district assembly, the Savannah Regional as a whole. So they should come out in their, at least their good office to help the smoke factory so that we can also get a marketing for our smokes, because we don't have any market for it. Anybody who goes around sells. Where do you send it to sell? You don't have where you will send it for somebody to buy in, let's say, in a market where we just roam around selling. So if they could have helped us to have at least just a supermarket for our smokes, we would have been appreciated for that too.
The district chief executive for North Gonja, Mr. Elias Ubawa, says the assembly recognizes the potential of the industry in Daboya and has chosen a smoke factory as its one district, one factory project.
You know, there is a government policy, the flagship program of one district, one factory. We selected an industry that will, expand the smoke business. So we decided to choose a factory that will produce the yarn, the raw material that we use in doing the weaving. That is the cotton yarn. Those materials are not produced anywhere in Ghana.
Once bitten, they say twice shy. You know the story of the men's good customers and all their locked up investments? People have really suffered though. But you know, with all the effort that these people have been making to get their locked up funds retrieved, they still haven't been able to. I don't know of any other group that has gone on as much demonstrations as these people have, all just to retrieve their monies. But have you heard the latest gist? Men's Gold is telling its customers that it will give them lands in place of their monies. But before they will be able to get the money, they have to pay 20,000 Ghana cedis as processing fees. And you see penny. Too sure it, no thank you.
The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, ordered Men's Gold to suspend aspects of its operations in 2018. Since then, Men's Gold has struggled to pay its customers their monies, leading to a series of demonstrations, appeals to various stakeholders including the President for monies of affected customers to be paid. With no hope of their monies being paid anytime soon, leadership of the Coalition of Aggrieved Customers of Men's Gold are bemoaning the lack of action on the part of institutions like the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, and SEC in light of what the customers believe is an attempt by the Men's Gold CEO, Nanapia Mensah, to defraud already struggling customers of his defunct company through a new land deal. Speaking to Citi Business News, chairman of the coalition, Isaac Nyako, described the new deal as a scam.
I mean, for somebody owing us so much to say he's giving us a land for settlement, which is going for 100,000, and even for the land, you need to pay 20,000 in advance before they even process and go and show you where the land is. It's unfortunate that, I mean, they claim once they give you the land, you forfeit your money. But if your money is not up to 100,000, that means you have to come and top up again before you are given the land, which for us it's kind of a scam.
He also asked customers to be patient as efforts are made to have assets of Men's Gold liquidated to facilitate their payment.
We want to warn all customers about this land issue, to stay away from NAM1 with this land issue, because even land litigation issues alone, if you go for the land, tomorrow you never know which land guard will come after you, who will come after you, that the land has not been properly paid for, or Whoever sold the land to you doesn't have the mandate. And moreover, we even hear that even that portion of land is in the waterways from the Ebri Hills. So it's not even good for settlement, let alone even exchanging your monies for. Please, customers, be patient and let's push government to be able to liquidate one's assets and then get us our monies.
Yes, sir, I've looked at the script. We'll attend to it and get back to you. Thank you, sir. A few decades ago, going to work meant getting all dressed up, spending hours in traffic, and being in an office the entire time. But now, it has a whole new meaning with technology and all of that. Being productive now means meeting your deadlines from wherever you are. Now, the coronavirus pandemic brought working from home to the limelight, but it does have its own challenges though. Well, for those of us who are here to try it out, this video will help us understand what it is all about.
I'm Michael Fifi Kwanzaa. I work at Ashesi University and I've been working from home since March 16th, thereabouts, pretty much when the presidential order came to close universities due to the spread of the global pandemic.
Just like Michael Kwanzaa, a number of employees had to work from home as part of measures adopted to prevent the spread of the virus. Michael shares his experience so far.
For me, there have been ups and downs, and one of the things I've really enjoyed is not having to deal with the commute of going to work. Ashesi is located in the eastern region of Ghana, and I live in Accra, so my mornings usually consisted of waking up early and just trying to get to work, trying to catch a shuttle and get to work on time. So you sometimes get to work tired. However, working from home, I can sleep a reasonable amount of time, wake up, get some exercise in, do my devotions, and still start work on time. And that absence of pressure in the mornings has been great.
DataBank is another institution that adopted the work-from-home policy for its staff, and the directive is still being used even though a number of the imposed restrictions have been eased by the government. Chief Executive Officer of the company, Kojo Adai-Mensah, indicated that his outfit had been making efforts towards getting employees to work from home, but the pandemic presented a good opportunity to test it out.
We were fully ready to work from home 100% by February 2020. So I don't know if God spoke to us, but yeah, we got ready. So 1 week before the president even shut down the country, I'm proud to say that at DataBank we were ready. So the whole of April, not a single soul walked into any fiscal office for us in the whole of April 2020. So we really were ready for this situation before the situation arose. But I must admit that there were certain aspects that we had to accelerate just to make sure that everybody was ready to do it. We had to purchase a few items like laptops that we hadn't even yet budgeted for, had to buy some devices and stuff like that.
Just as with every system, there are drawbacks. What are some of them when it comes to working from home?
It's been fantastic, especially for our clients. On the staff side, the feeling is a bit mixed. Some people, their homes are not as conducive to be able to work from home as other people, not even the fact that maybe the Wi-Fi is not working properly or data is not working properly, but just the conducive environment, the noise, there are children all over the place because they are not going to school, all that. But I've still pushed hard for people not to come into the office environment, because you know what, we are all in the offices, you are enclosed, it's air conditioning, and the scientists tell us that is recipe for spread.
But what is a likely solution for some of these challenges?
A hybrid would be great. One where you work at home a couple of parts of the week and then in the office the other parts. And I feel like that balance will be really effective in helping a lot of people get work done, because you can get the best of both worlds, and that for me is ideal.
What is the public's perception of working from home? Here are some people sharing their thoughts.
The traffic experience is really bad. From my point of view, sometimes you feel so tired from your previous days at work and you have to sit in a car for so many hours, and when you get to work, there's a whole lot of stress and all that. That's why I would prefer sitting in the house and working.
Comparing working from home and being at the office, I don't want to be at the office, work from the ground, get to face-to-face interaction with people, see their facial expression, know their reaction when I'm with them. So I would want to be on the ground and get my information and work from the office, have my colleagues around, ask them a lot of questions, how it can help me build my story.
Isn't that a fine piece of artwork we have here? You know, at first glance, you'd actually think it's a printed picture, but it was actually drawn with a pencil. Now, for persons like myself who can only draw lines and boxes, it's quite fascinating that someone can actually draw with so much detail. Well, let's find out the whole industry of pencil art. And somebody has to draw me too.
In 2019, arts and culture contributed about $800 billion to the American economy. I'm talking about movies, music, paintings, drawings, arts installations, sculpture, and the likes. Now, that's a larger in multiples than some economies around the world. Now, when you scale it down to just the global art, industry, when I talk about global arts, I'm talking about just paintings, drawings, sculpture, and other installations. Now, that's worth about $64 billion. That's when you look at the year 2019 and 2018, thereabouts. I don't know about the worth of the arts industry in Ghana. I'm sure it runs into millions. But I do know that there is a growing interest in a subset of that industry. That is pencil drawing. Now, pencil artists across the capital have been speaking about their challenges, opportunities in the market, and what can be done to support the growth of their industry.
So there are different forms of illustrations, from use of paints to these days the digital artworks. But what makes the use of pencils in depicting images so special? I'm coming to engage one young artist who has spent years when it comes to depiction of images using pencils.
One thing special about pencil is it takes a lot of time, effort, and energy on trying to put someone's image on a paper. Trying to capture this human creature inside your brains and trying to put them on a paper, it takes a whole lot of effort, and it takes talent, it takes years of practice.
For a piece like this, how much would you normally sell it, and how much are you making in terms of your monthly sales or weekly sales?
Okay, so for something like this, I think we'll go for about probably from 800 cedis to maybe 1,000 too, depending on the type of drawing I'm doing. So with this, let's say for 1,000, I'm going to sell it for about 800 cedis upwards to 1,000 too, depending on the type I'm going to do. And so we normally price our stuffs concerning the size and the type of drawing, because we have this normal portrait, we have the realistic and hyper-realistic.
Tucked under the main bridge around the Mile 7 area is a 15-year veteran of the pencil art business. The founder of Ocean Pencil Art has been in this trade for a long time, and he tells us about how the business has evolved.
Right now, I can see that improvement has come inside more. Like first, I used to do it in the house. Right now, I'm over here. The business is going on well. Right now, I use a charcoal pencil, I use graphite, and I use charcoal powder with makers brushes. Sometimes the sketch will take you like 1 hour to sketch a drawing, a picture. So it can take you 3 days for you to shade, to shade the artwork. This size is 20 by 24. That one is 550, and this one is 700. This is geometry, 20 by 30. Yes, and an Akufuado size is 450.
So is there a real appetite for pencil art, and what is the market for this type of illustration? And Okentri is the owner of the Achimota Art Village, and he tells us more.
The patronage is quite good. Of late, people have come to understand art. You'll be here, and a group of people will come here. We want to appreciate our CEO. We want to appreciate our boss. What can we buy? The first thing I'll tell you, draw him or her. And they'll say, wow, that's good. So how much is it? I give them their price. They agree to it. I do it for them. When they come and take it, they are so happy. Sometimes they'll call you feedback and they'll tell you, boss, Charlie, your team work.
What are some of the key
should I say, challenges that, artists like yourself are facing that you need help?
For me, I would say a place to work, like a studio on my own that I'm going to be working. And even where I am right now, you can see it's just like someone's kiosk that I've taken that I'm working with.
Sometimes the price, if you mention the figure to them, people will say that no, you are under overhead and the price, they want to reduce the price for you. But if I can get a shop, the price can be okay for me.
Lorinda Agbenawusi, also known in the art world as Aseye, is one of the few females who has taken up the pencil art form. Now she tells me about what can be done to grow the market and also welcome more women into the field.
It's growing, but I feel that there's more room for improvement, especially for the ladies. There are lots of guys in the art world and it's difficult penetrating, especially if you didn't study art.
This Sunday on the Upside Down Show, we pay tribute to Ghana's first president under the Fourth Republic, His Excellency Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, whose sudden demise occurred on the 12th of November 2020. It's all right here on the Upside Down Show this Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Citi TV. Upside Down Show is proudly brought to you by Vodafone Ghana.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Comprehensive news. The Citi Newsroom at 8 p.m. on Citi TV is your most engaging news bulletin on TV.
It's a very oh, that's too bad. The youth are still throwing stones. They are still throwing stones here into our direction. And can I come in? I want to come in. Okay.
Telling your stories better with correspondents covering every corner of the country.
Getting access to potable water is a daily struggle for residents of Kakichekopi and Balekopi communities in the Ada East district of the Greater Accra region.
Citi Newsroom at 8 p.m. Very fluent with issues that concern you.
This inquiry me come from Mr. Rabbi. Someone is really a bread. Told you kind of a 1 week. What are you say?
Is it unfair? What all this? What all this? We are dying! We are dying! We are dying for Choco!
With Citi Newsroom, your community is now connected.
In this our community, all of us we are very sorry about this school. If we went and see the children, they are so small. Even my grandchildren are there. My grands outside there. If they come out from the school, I'll be busy.
Every day at 8 p.m., Citi Newsroom is live on Citi TV.
Micro, small and medium enterprises. I have some very good news for you. Now, government has set up an agency to address your challenge of access to funds. This video has the details.
The Ghana Enterprises Agency Bill was passed in Parliament last week, awaiting the President's assent, after which the National Board for Small-Scale Industries, NBSSI, will become known as the Ghana Enterprises Agency. This is part of government's plans to assist MSMEs financially to expand. Speaking to the media, a Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Robert Ahonkalinsi, said the conversion of the NBSSI into a fully fledged agency is aimed at formalizing the MSME sector to make it easier for players in that sector to access credit.
When we say promote and support, it covers all aspects. So it starts with a very simple yet important factor, which is defining what is a small, what is a micro, what is a small, what is a medium. Once you define that, you look at the challenges that are faced by this sector of the economy, such as the fact that they're largely informal. Because they're largely informal, as I said the last time, it becomes very difficult to actually have policies that touch them. So helping them formalize. Once that is done, you look at some of the challenges they face. Now you have a situation where the MBSSI has business resource centers around the country and business advisory centers. Then is ensuring that within these business advisory centers provide the support they need. A critical element also of the new agency that it has the ability to raise fund. It not has ability, it is going to raise a fund that is targeted specifically at MSMEs to provide them finance. And you know, finance is one of the key constraints to most of our micro, small, and medium. But it's not just finance, because it is everything to do with helping them keep better accounts, understanding the importance of business management, encouraging them to grow, because most of our businesses are just simply too small. And so we have to encourage some of the micros to go into small, some of the smalls, the medium, some of the mediums into the large. And then ensuring those that are capable can then play their full role in the value chain of the bigger industries, such as the automobile industry, but petrochemical industry, the 1D, 1F, etc. So it is an all-encompassing, and the agency has quite a job on its hand, but it's an important job that this bill will give it the teeth and the tools to be able to do that.
Speaking on the sidelines of the 2020 Ghana Women Entrepreneurship Summit, the Executive Secretary of the National Board for Small-Scale Industries, Kosi Yankee Aye, told journalists the changes were necessitated due to the increasing responsibilities of the board and the growing needs of industries.
It is very important to note that COVID brought to light a lot of the sectors that we had overlooked many times in the work we do. There's trade and there's industry and there's enterprises. And under the enterprises come all cross-section sectors of the work we did, which is something we never used to look at when we were working as NBSSI. Now, this new agency really is bigger than what we think. One, it looks not only at micro and small. The National Board for Small-Scale Industries Act really focused more on the micro and small, and did not look at medium and really the acceleration or the trajectory improvements of these businesses. And this new Act looks at it. There's also a strong component on funding, which the old Act did not look at. There's an SME fund that is part of what this new Act is supposed to take a look at. Why? Because the foundation and the fundamentals of the work we've been doing, and what we realize as one of the bigger challenges, has been access to finance.
Don't we all love coconut? But have you wondered where all of the waste from coconuts end up? A lot of them end up polluting the environment, find their ways in the gutters and the likes, because the coconut sellers really don't have any great way to dispose them. But then there's this group who has found a very environmentally friendly way of upcycling this waste that comes from coconuts. Let's check them out.
Each year, more than 1 million tons of agricultural waste is generated from farming in Ghana. Innovators in the agricultural ecosystem are working to provide a viable alternative to the traditional methods of waste disposal. Nanaya Ayabia works at Farmer Wealth, a company that processes coconut waste into cocoa peat. Cocoa peat is a 100% organic growing medium which can be used alone to plant or mixed with soil.
It has zero everything, and then you introduce, maybe I'll give it 10% nitrogen, because this plant requires nitrogen. I'll give it 10% ammonia. I'll give it 10% urea. So you're able to introduce the exact amount of nutrient that you require, and therefore you're able to control the growth of your plants. So scientific production of your plants or the farm that you are doing. So you put in 100 seeds, automatically you get 100 seedlings. Unlike the soil that we don't know where it was picked from, whether it was picked from a place where chemicals from the pharmaceutical industry were dumped at, and therefore the soil is already contaminated, and then you go and harvest that soil and bring to your home and put no matter what you put in there, it will not germinate, and you'll be wondering why. And then also because it originates above ground and has gone through processing, it is free of soil diseases. That is one thing that also affects farmers. You have nematodes affecting your plants, other soil diseases affecting your plant, but this one it originates above ground, so there are no soil diseases, and therefore you are spared that one. Because this one also contains fiber, it holds water. When you water, the fiber will absorb the water and will be releasing to your plant gradually. So you don't need to water often. Unlike the soil, sometimes a bit of it is sandy. When you water, it goes through. So you need to water every day. Maybe it is clayey soil, and so it is holding too much water at a point in time. This one, the fiber acts like a sponge. It will hold, it will absorb the water and release the water gradually to you. So you don't need to water frequently.
Agro-sourcing promotes upcycling of food waste by creating value from agricultural byproducts and waste that would have ordinarily gone to pollute the environment. Richmond Zisu is the CEO of agro-sourcing.
The idea of agro-sourcing is to add value to agricultural residues. We've identified that there are various uses of agricultural residues, be it cocoa pods, palm kernel shells, coconut husk. They have endless possibilities for value addition. So that is where our focus is. And how we want to do that is, first of all, to map out Ghana on where you can find these residues, because you identify that there are players in the field or in the ecosystem who are already adding value to these residues. So with our source map, we can now identify where to find these residues and add value to them.
The agro-sourcing team believes that data collection is a crucial part of ending food waste through upcycling. Isaac Asiedu is the CTO of agro-sourcing.
At agro-sourcing, we believe that the prime asset is actually data. And all our efforts at curtailing agricultural waste is hinged on data, making sure that we know exactly where productions are taking place, making sure that we know exactly where generation of various agricultural wastes are occurring. And by that aggregation of data, people who need whatever can just plug into our platform and make requests for it, where we have sort of like a commerce platform that allows people to order things easily. Why? Because they can easily access and know where these things are.
That'll be all for this edition of the Business Weekly Show here on Citi TV. For regular news updates, check out our website, citybusinessnews.com. Don't forget also to tune in to the Business Dashboard on Citi TV at 7 p.m. sharp every weekday. My name is Michael Ogbodu. Thank you for watching. As always, stay informed.
What is lobbyism? It was back in the early 19th century that people first began to lurk in the lobby of the U.S.